into open session, and forgive us, our board docs is not working that great, so we're going old school and doing paper, and we're a little not used to it, so don't make fun of us, okay? Our first thing is taking positive steps of service award.
Yes, I will turn this over to Jason Marshall, the assistant principal of the high school. You guys can come on up. Look right over top.
Right. So I have the opportunity to recognize two amazing staff members from Lodi High School. Andy Heimerman is in his second year teaching English at the high school and has also coached volleyball at the middle school and high school and basketball at the high school. And Joe Burkholz is one of our special education EAs at the high school and has served as our head tennis and head girls soccer coach for many years. Both of them also lead our Dungeons and Dragons club. At Lodi High School, our vision statement is creating opportunities for success, every student, every classroom, every day. Andy Heimerman and Joe Burkholz live out this mission in the many hats that they wear within the school district of Lodi, including the work that they have done organizing and leading our Dungeons and Dragons club. Andy and Joe started this group last year, and it has grown in popularity and served as a vehicle to build high-quality relationships with students and their peers, as well as students in both Joe and Andy. This club fills a vital role in connecting students to our high school and helping create a sense of belonging among our student body. Now, I have to admit that I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons, but stepping foot in one of their club meetings, you can immediately sense the enthusiasm and joy that students bring each time they meet. This enthusiasm carries over to conversations that Andy and Joe frequently have with club members in class, in the hallways, and at lunch. What impresses me most about this group is many of the students were not previously connected to a school co-curricular, but they now have a deeper connection to our school and to our staff members. They even created an opportunity for other staff to come to a meeting to learn about Dungeons and Dragons and to play with the club members. In addition to their work with Dungeons and Dragons, both Joe and Andy serve as coaches in our district. As any coach knows, the amount of time asked of our coaches in season is significant. It would have been really easy for Andy and Joe to push pause because things are too busy, but both of them have found ways to still meet, oftentimes sacrificing their own free time to get the D&D group together. I am immensely proud of the work that Joe and Andy have done growing this group and most importantly building high-quality relationships with students in our school. Thank you for bringing this idea to life and to helping make Lodi High School a place that truly creates opportunities for success for every student.
So here's a certificate for each of you. Thank you. And a raise of $100,000. Anything you guys want to say?
Thanks for giving us the opportunity to have the club in general.
Thanks for thinking of doing it.
Yeah, thank you. I was at a meeting last year asking for permission to run the club, and the board is very supportive of that, and Joe and Jason have been really supportive, and and the kids are really enjoying it. So again, thank you very much. Appreciate the recognition on that.
We're going to take you guys this picture with Mr. Marshall in front of the screen over here.
Well, thank you guys for giving our kids another opportunity.
Of course. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, next we have our gallery walk.
Yeah, so we're excited to have staff from each of our schools in our district on hand to participate in a gallery walk with the board. As a reminder, just over 3 years ago, the district started the work to engage the community in a strategic planning process. The Board of Education mapped out the community and worked to locate community members who represented the different aspects of the community who were willing to run a strategic planning process for the district. That group of people then mapped out the community while still inviting anybody in the community to participate in a 2-night conversation for our future event, and ran this event to gather input from members of the community. The themes that emerged from this process were the priorities that were outlined in the strategic plan that were put together by the Vision Element Study Team, which was approved by this board in July of 2021. And forgive me as I go through this, I've gone through this again, but it's just a good reminder for our board and for our staff and for our community, the process that we've gone through. So to implement the strategic plan and the priorities that were set by our community, the board asked the administration to come up with a plan for implementing, and we came up with the district-wide balanced scorecards. The balanced scorecards are a snapshot of our current state and how we align our work to the strategic plan. The district's balanced scorecard are our vital measures for each pillar. Just like when you go to the doctor, they check your vital signs, your heart rate, your blood pressure, reflexes, et cetera. The scorecard represents the vital signs we check as a district to see how we're doing. The balanced scorecards help us measure progress on our highest priority strategies that we are using to make progress in the pillars that were given to us by our community. Tonight, we're going to take some time to walk you through the strategies the district is using to implement pillars 1, preparing for the future, and pillar 2, nurturing the whole student of the strategic plan at each of our buildings. To do this, we have invited staff to come tonight to participate in a gallery walk. The board heard an update on pillars 3, innovative communication connections, pillar 4, district workforce, and pillar 5, operation excellence of the strategic plan at our board administrative retreat 2 weeks ago tonight. So tonight's focus will be on pillars 1 and 2. We'll divide the board and the community members who are here in small groups and have them go to the 5 stations we have set up here in the district office. When we get all split up, I will set a timer for 10 minutes for each group to spend with the individual schools. After the 10 minutes are up, a timer will go off and we'll rotate clockwise around the room. This will take us a little over 50 minutes to complete, but I think it'll be time well spent by everybody in the room. So, staff, I'll ask you to go to your stations. We're going to have the elementary and OSC up here. Primary school is going to be back kind of where the screen was where we took the picture. The high school is going to be out across the hallway. And the middle school is going to be out down the hall past my office in the new conference room we have, just so we can spread out a little bit more. Okay? And we will start, and we will just go on this fashion. So, let's see. All right, you two, go there.
All right.
You two, go there. You two want to go middle school? Oh, we're going to break up a little bit more. One go up there, one go here. So what's your plan? And then we will just, we'll have one group, let's go to primary school, so one group will have off. All right, so let's get going, we'll start. I'll be the timekeeper.
Yes.
So we wanted to highlight that, so we are, what we're working on is each of the individual groups has a specific skill that we're trying to have the kids be able to read the words that are aligned to skills, write the words aligned and we've done a lot of lines with skills. So for example, so in this kindergarten lesson that you're gonna see,
making sure that they're not only
actually in this kindergarten teaching, it's not a full lesson. These kids have been working on blending a CESA5 words, so consonant vowel, consonant words, and we're really focusing on the short vowels. We're also beginning to start some ones, and ready, sounding, as Amy said, decoding, sounding out each word.
my view, we have started a new literacy program.
Kids would be able to demonstrate that
We had last year, probably about 7 different programs that we came in. The new literacy committee, we kind of looked at, and a lot of people coming in and talking. We really looked at what was positive, negatives of those programs.
So there had other schools talking that were using programs, so we could get a good idea of what's positive and negatives of the program. It's a big investment. And we came up with my view.
So we felt really good about this decision.
Something new that we added.
So it hits all of these areas of the science and reading from there. Awareness, word study, vocabulary, mentioned the big pieces like phonics and word study, which kind of been missing a role from there throughout the years. So that is in there, but it's also very rigorous.
But if you do want to look into a lot of text, just
Comprehension and things like that.
So that's been going really well.
So for 3-5,
This is the first grader.
it's really rigorous and well.
Next, we're moving along some very
There's the level of questions for this are higher level. that I've seen for fifth grade, which is good. And then the one thing I love about it is has real text for the kids to read, and the kids are excited to read. We just finished one. These are great.
I know you love this too.
Real literature, that was a key for this program.
Really building up on this.
Yeah, a lot of work.
That's what Oh, I knew that.
Math. So math, we're continuing with everyday math, but what we're noticing is deficiency in math facts. And so every grade has been looking at that and really focus on what we can do to help them
We do
improve
grade
math
level, we
facts.
use everyday math.
Especially with the kids
That
that
still
are
has not changed.
with everything that happened in the
have
past with them,
opportunities to
that even
do
slip
small
more.
math groups.
So we have prep math,
Supervisor,
which
we're really fortunate to
all
have,
fourth and fifth
the
grade
ops
uses,
come in
and
help with
it's
some
not
of those
timed,
small
but
groups
it
and
builds on their level,
interventions.
so as they improve,
Spring math,
it goes up
we
and challenges them,
dabbled
and then
in
third
this
grade does
last
extra
few
math.
grades, and we kind of,
And we also revived math and programs for advanced learners,
so
we're
similar,
teaching it to everybody. But
on math facts.
the kids who are really
That was
interested in advanced math are the ones that really get excited about it. And
Pillars.
it's an opportunity for them to
This is
help.
part of school, we're focusing on creating
And I
a
would
sense
say,
of belonging
with
through
you,
our school
you're the
family.
longest, that's what I'm seeing,
what they do.
is focus on the higher level kids.
Skills.
Higher level kids that need that challenge in math.
This is probably the biggest change, or maybe not change, but exciting part is our
So it's
ISH
pushing
Trail
that
Alliance
higher level
partnership.
kid, those higher level
We
kids.
just signed the MOU, so that was pretty exciting, with this event, and we're excited for the district and Wyoming school,
Yeah,
the entire district being,
probably even before COVID,
a part of
I
the
think
ISH Trail
just with
Alliance.
changes, everything's, yep,
And so we meet
yeah,
once a
it's
month
really
with our families and we
And, yeah, it goes right into our plans for looking at ways so that we can challenge the,
name and then
not just the upper end, but the kids that need that challenge with our spelling bee. We sent two fifth grader and sixth grader to Portage. They beat out all the seventh and eighth graders.
and then what are the activities we did with Petition?
Yeah, Creative Arts Festival and fifth grade math.
Petition about 5, we had each family create a band.
Yeah, the morning meeting and closing circle, as Dawn said at the beginning, really focused on that community.
Students and what they are.
Classrooms
And then I
and
think similar to
morning meeting or closing circle. So morning meeting is
19 banners all throughout the
the
school.
grades that have a special right away, and they meet together and go through activities to help pull them together and bond. Fifth grade is special, so we do it in the day and we follow closing circle. And I still, we still talk and meet with our kids in the morning, but then at the end we do an activity where they greet each other, they share, there's an activity, and then a message. And it'll look different third grade and fifth, but the whole idea is to show that everybody belongs and has their place. Something about saying.
Tied like districts. So it was quite a process with the littles, but they got it done, we're super proud of them. But they were donated to a different nursing
Are currently going
program.
through the one therapy service. It's an awesome program right now that,
And then for our
we
next
have
two
counselors
family,
who come into our school, so parents don't have to worry about pulling them out of school. A lot of our kids are struggling with anxiety, depression,
and each person will
and so
provide their own.
we're not taking them out of school.
Q&A that they might
30
have,
minutes
just to
or
set
whatever
them
that
up for
session is, and they can
Kids don't know about this
be
yet.
into it and find out all throughout the day, so those kids are not even feeling like, that they're sleeping or feeling like a felt somewhere different. It's just a really nice way for parents, and we have a lot of kids doing this right now.
Are you familiar with one
And
of
it's-
And I had one family last year that, a lot of families.
Yeah, it's a famous book, and most second graders, they used to be kind of
Therapy,
second graders.
because of the weight. They this came along, and I just talked to them, they said it just made a huge improvement.
Send it to relatives wherever they were.
And for parents to try to, take off work, to take their child there, and it's just been something really great that, we have been able to help our families with and our students with.
So is it something that the family consensus is behind, so we need this, or sometimes we don't have partnership with
We share.
Okay.
Yep. You know, or the parents are saying that, you know, we're struggling with this, you know, we can, it's really, and that's what we're creating that community together. So it's not like this me against us kind of, you know, it's not this fighting, it's actually a combination of,
Big push in the district and then also within
you know, where that has always been, right.
kind of shifting our approach to it.
like on our family resources, so like families are clicking on resources.
Passions get outside.
Susan's been dreaming about this for quite a while.
You can send it to your.
Do you have any questions so far? And again, as we know in our district, we're trying to find those connections in our community, whether it's a business, whether it's an individual, whether it's a group of volunteers, and in elementary, that's something that we're also focused on. Some of the highlights, Reach Out Lodi, not only donating and taking things over, but the younger certified teachers set up times for fifth grade to go to tour and learning more about it. She did, she's from our is displaying their work down at the Associated Bank. That's yeah, so we, of course, the football team, but we had a local veteran come in on his 100th birthday. So the talk and share was outstanding. We had a representative from the Ho-Chunk Nation talk all about their heritage and what that looks like in their culture. And then, of course, the Lodi Police Department. That's it.
Those are our fourth grade perfect. Yes. Well, but not word, like
That's fine.
I mean,
You guys should like Photoshop each other.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
they look at us like that too.
Yeah.
It worked.
I feel like more examples.
Right.
To be honest, I love Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, so, this, I can talk about this. So, beginning of the year, we did restaurants. We've held out. We've held out. Wellness or how we're doing. And one of the things came up was a birthday celebration, so we've always had like the rule about bringing prepackaged snacks or something healthy. But a different idea was to offer an alternative activity, so instead of bringing a birthday treat, you could pick an extra recess or kickball game or something. For the whole class? Yeah, for your whole class. So like in the list of alternate activities, and you don't have to, you can still bring your birthday treat, but so many kids are motivated to do the alternate activity. So that's
Taylor
really
Swift
fun.
party was,
Yeah.
you know,
A lot of dodgeball for my class.
Yeah, and they're so excited. They're almost like more excited than the
Well, I was gonna say, like, my youngest was probably not thrilled, and like, he's always like shy.
Yeah.
But dodgeball, he about to get let's
All in, let's go.
Yeah, and then it takes away the stigma of the kid that they bring in.
Our time is up.
Who's gonna go that way? This group's gonna go right a lot, there's a lot to do. Thank you. How'd it go? You guys wanna move on? Oh, yes.
Couple doors, two doors, you're the best.
That's what we've been dealing with.
they are amazing.
Push my button.
They're good. And I was gone today and I still texted me. I gotta go then. Sorry, I don't remember. Think it's, you're thinking, well, now you're gonna keep going, okay? I'll teach you about it.
What we didn't do is introduce ourselves. There, everybody knows. I'm Katie Kruger, I'm the advisor.
Allie Stone.
My daughter,
Sorry.
Go, you go next.
Okay, Allie Stone again.
Scout leader.
There you go. I know Adam and I know Ann, so.
Oh, no, they know me well, through my kids.
You're on the wrong side. Alright.
So, just
All right.
really just
So
kind of
we're
want to
talking
hone
about
in
what
about
Lodi
our mission
Elementary
statement.
School has done
Just
in the last
strength
couple of years, and we've really
styles,
focused on
intelligences, and offering
a variety of different things.
in a
The
multi-age
community
setting.
center, and not only
We are
just
project
what about,
We are community
not only
based.
just on construction, but the whole shop. And so that's kind of what we're gonna talk to you about tonight as we move forward, and what that looks like, and that's that safe environment for all of our kids to learn. I'm thinking bubble, mostly think bubble, I just.
All right, so we'll talk literacy right here. This will be learning. So last year we looked at, I don't know, 6 or 7 programs.
We're
and
very much project focused with.
we had people come in, we talked to other schools that have been using them, we looked at materials, kind of looked at the pluses and negatives. Came up with my view, literacy. As you can see, everything it covers there from phonemic awareness all the way down.
Come in on, or virtually. Oh, so, right, so orthographic, so writing, basically, orthographic. These are those are the, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are all the main components of the science of reading, which has recently been sort of in the media, but has been around for a while. But this is like, all of the programs that are coming out right now should be based in the science of reading, and of all the things coming out, it's all the important things that kids need to know in order to read. So we can't assume that kids know any of these things, they have to be taught to them, and so the programs really need to have these things embedded in them. So taking the sounds and then
One of the bigger
using letters to represent those sounds, basically. So my view is a comprehensive program that has all these things, and it also is rigorous. So like our 3rd through 5th graders are getting grade level reading, whole group reading, small group reading, individual practice, and they're getting all the things, all these things through my view. So we've had a really good response.
Yeah, the level of questioning is higher than I've been used to at 5th grade, which is really, I think, a positive because it pushes our students, and the amount of vocabulary that we're using is outstanding, but the best for me are the stories that we read are great stories and real reading. So last week we just finished an excerpt from a book, and I had 3 kids that loved it so much that they wanted to get the book and read the book
We
itself.
do whole group as well as small
I
group
love
instruction.
the stories that we're reading go through.
With
and
us, the
use our
advisors, or
comprehension
we're
skills.
really fortunate to have Brenda Ox.
And it's new to us this year, but
who helps
those
us
skills
with different
sort of come back
interventions
around,
when
they
it comes
spiral,
to
so what they were
math
learning in
and
3rd grade
small
will be revisited in
support.
4th grade and built upon
And
in 5th
then
grade.
another
So all those good
opportunity
things.
that we
It's a good program.
jumped on was spring math.
And there's a picture of Chris doing
That
that,
we recognized there was an area of need with math.
which is something that we actually, we really did that
and,
last year.
Making sure that the
Magnetic letters and having kids do work and build it, and it's super exciting for them. I think maybe a 5th grader would love
we
it.
kind
and
of
they do
dabbled
it.
from when we worked with
Yeah.
Christy
And
Paskey
I was
last year,
typically using it for my
teacher.
lower end and my higher
And
end,
then
we
this
wanna
came
work
out
with
of
this. And so then what we
that
would use it with their words,
And
and
then
they,
just
yeah, they absolutely
like
love it, and then just
already,
manipulating it, moving around it,
students
seeing
have
the
a
parts
MyPath
or
for
breaking
their
it
math
into
lesson.
syllables.
Here's a cute picture of one kiddo just keeping track of the lessons that he passes based off of what his needs are.
All right,
And then we have project time, so probably the most exciting part about this for us and a shift that we have in OSC is partnering with the Ice Age Trail Alliance.
What we've done
Not
besides,
too long ago, we had the
pricing class,
MOU that
we
we
have
just signed, so we're
3
really
different
excited for the
programs,
district to
Freckle
also
Math,
be a part of
which
that.
4th and 5th uses.
And
the
then
thing
these are kind
I
of our
use that what
focus
I really like
areas
about
for
it
this
is,
project.
I can,
And
assign different
we
tasks for
also,
students based on their needs.
do
So
our
I can
field
individualize
studies where
it,
we're
and then with
learning
the facts,
outside of the classroom
it will
and learning
adjust
from
as
experts in the
they,
field.
become more
This was one that
confident in
we
that
just took
And then
recently
for extra
and
math
worked with
is
the
3rd
Ice Age
grade,
Trail
and then
Alliance,
so
and we
3
did a
programs
Cedar
that
Burn.
help reinforce math facts.
And then also we have for the advanced learner, similar to the elementary, we are part of the 5th grade study, Math 24, just any opportunities that we can take advantage of.
And then 5th, a lot of times we'll have high school TAs do that. Yep. And then, so excited for this, we brought
Yes,
back,
nurturing the-
thanks to
Are there any
Nick,
questions?
Math 24.
Before we, no,
And
okay.
that again is, great for challenging some of
Happy
our
to.
higher kids, but it's also great for all of our kids to think
Our
differently
morning
when they're
meeting,
looking at
that's the opportunity to utilize the
And then,
skills that we've learned in
that
SEL.
turns into
Meet with kids, do a check-in,
our advanced learners.
just see how
So
things
not
are
only are we
going,
focused on the students
set the
and,
day up for success
at
for
maybe the
them.
lower end and what they need, but also
That's
those
how
students at the
we
higher end
conduct
and
our
how they
morning meetings in
continue
each
to
homeroom.
challenge them. So Math 24, we have our Math 24, or our math team,
Connections and
which we're really excited to have. And then,
all kinds
we
of
have a 5th grade math meet, the spelling bee. we sent a fifth grader, he beat all the middle school kids, and then a sixth grader, they went to Portage to compete. And so it's just great seeing that spelling bee come back, Math 24, and the fifth grade math bee.
He's hungry for next year, because he got out of the first round and he's ready for next year.
Yes.
He is ready.
A little bit to get him back, but yeah.
We've also partnered with Kingfisher Yoga.
So nurturing the whole
couple years and
So morning meeting is just, it's either in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on if we have specials or not. A morning meeting or, in the afternoon, it's just a time for the classrooms just to get together and to actually, take that time to be able to greet one another, to be able to understand, and like, we're teaching at that time, some kind of service, like this one we're talking about kindness. So what does that mean? What does that look like? How can we do that? How do we apply that in our everyday lives outside in the community, and how do we actually do it inside our classroom? Yes. It would not be that way, you
Use that as a
know,
modeling.
but yes,
Emphasis on wellness this year, so things
yes,
we've done is,
it's okay, but we're
instead
working
of
on that
birthday treat, we
inside class,
encourage,
and you know,
activity, options.
so that morning
if it's
message,
your
we
birthday,
read
you
the
pick a
students,
game or
and
activity to
the
do.
cool thing about this
Also,
is,
get
our
your kids
students take
outside as
that
much as
control,
possible, whether it's
and
the
they
school
take
forest,
that, and
whether
they'll
it's
read that
on the
morning
trail,
message,
and
and
then also
they'll
campus
do that,
staff.
so that we're giving those kids
And
that
utilizing the
opportunity,
resources
that
we have.
leadership skill, so.
And everybody has an opportunity to have their voice heard, which is what exactly. So this, therapy services was it new last year? So last year was new. So we partner with a company in Wanakee, a therapy service that comes to the school. It's nice because it doesn't take the kids out of school, doesn't take away from their parents' time, they don't have to take off of work to transport their child. Carrie, you can talk about this.
I hate
Sorry,
going back,
And helping to
by
build
insurance,
that
they receive their care at
for
their school.
students.
And I've mentioned before, but we have 22 students and I think 5 therapists that come in, just in our building, so.
It removes a lot of the sticky.
Yeah, because they're not leaving school, they're just.
Well, and I have a whole bunch on my caseload, and like, they'd be in my classroom, they're like, oh, I just got done meeting with so-and-so, and they're like, oh, I meet with mine, you know, and it really is very open, and it takes that, you know, it's not, they're not embarrassed, they're just like,
There's
this
so
is
much
just
movement
what
in
I'm
and out
working
of our
through.
classes that no one knows why people are leaving.
really enjoyed with
Well, I wanted to mention one more thing about it is that it says it, they can start therapy within a couple of weeks, like there's so much wait time for other therapy services right now that this is just a great opportunity. Somebody just really
So
wants
it
to
was
get
part
help
of
and
last
needs
year
it
was
now,
when
they
we were
can get it
seeking
within a
them math intervention program, yep. And then, but it was more like that one was more.
And you can follow them,
supplemental,
right?
And this year became an integral component of.
Right.
of education.
Right. Yes.
Willing to talk.
Great, but our kiddos that are going to the, you know, going to be sixth graders next year, those counselors can follow them right to that school. You know, so that's really a great
The primary school or the
opportunity.
So,
elementary school?
just, do you wanna, if we have like 30 seconds, but just some of the community
The nice piece
connections
about spring math is
between
we,
businesses, but also individuals and
kids progress
organizations in the
that
community.
progression. Right, so
Our art
it's
is
very
being displayed at the
systematic.
student bank, thanks to tackling and all.
Yep.
We've got
Yep.
Cody
So we have
Enders
spring math
set up
as
fifth grade to go to reach out about it,
So
to
kids are
learn to
needing,
see
so
all
we have our
about.
wing time.
We've had many bids from the Lodi football team, 100-year-old veteran, our kids made cards for his 100th birthday, and so then after his birthday, he came to talk to our students. It was really cool. Nation, an individual from John came, talked to students,
So what we noticed
and there's
when we
several
reviewed
others,
our
so.
core math program, everything
We have to rotate.
mathematics is
Thank you,
not
guys.
strong.
And I'll send you a calendar
So we
invite.
needed systematically from
How does it feel to have one of your
this year to say,
sons
here we're gonna build a routine to practice math facts. OSC had a jump on it, they started midway through last school year and they jumped in and started using
Oh,
some
right.
some different products.
yeah,
in
yeah,
elementary
how's that?
school.
It's good.
Kind of our experimental year and we're looking at a piece of how we would get it through
That's why. I think he had Pam Cunningham, that's why. Pam and Sam. Yes. Could be the reason why.
About pillar one and pillar two. So one of the things that we're trying to say girl. So I know. one of the things we're focusing on
Based on more of a collective.
You can do both, so we could like take a small group of students and we could do a pre-screener and a grade as a path for them, or we could screen.
went in and out.
Prescribed path for the larger group.
Yeah, exactly. Do you wanna talk to me? Yes.
We get a break? They only have 4
My group left me.
so. You guys get to take a break.
Okay.
Just constantly
OSC.
word for word.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here's Lowell Elementary School, Chris McNeil, 5th grade.
John Collins, special ed.
Katie Greer,
You're up.
Okay, so in the last couple of years, we've really moved from what Lodi Elementary School and kind of thought of what really our vision we wanted to be. And so what we've been looking at is looking at the whole child of what that looks like is not only just academics, it's also looking at how we work together as a community, how we work together in the classroom, how we work together as a school. So, as we move forward, another one, our biggest change. Take it away.
So, last year we had a new literacy program, we looked at 6 or 7, and we had reps come in, we had all the materials, we talked to schools that use those materials to find out what would best suit our needs here at Lodi, and we came to the conclusion that in my view was our best approach to help our students with literacy. And Katie, you wanna go?
So, sure. When we're looking at teaching reading to students, a lot has come out in the last few years about the science of reading. And so we actually had a mandate come out from Act 20 that also mandates the science of reading, which it makes sense. It's how students learn to read. We want to make sure that we're doing all those things. So the things that you see listed from phonemic awareness, word study, oral language, all of that down, those are all the components, essential components that you should have in a science of reading program that's going to teach all students how to read. In my view, solidly has all of those components, as well as rigor. So we have all of our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders are reading grade level material, authentic text that really has knowledge base and like comprehension questions that are going to get them thinking and talking and discussing and what they're reading. So we're feeling really good about it. The kids like it, the staff likes it. It's a lot, but it's really a good program.
The level of questioning is higher than I was expecting for 5th grade. It's great because it's pushing our students to think beyond. And then what I really love about it, as she said, is real literature that they're reading. For example, we just read an excerpt from a book last week, and I had 3 students that wanted to check out that book to read it because they were so excited about just that little part of it. And so we're reading real stories that keep the kids engaged.
And there's a really great focus on that building of that vocabulary, especially for some of my kiddos that are struggling with that reading. It's that vocabulary base that we can at least build on and keep on going. And maybe the kids aren't reading like they are, they have that vocab that.
Vocabulary work.
We're also still able to have small group time, and something that we started last year was these magnetic letters, and when we're working on word study or how to build a word, how to read it, how to take it apart. And so this is something that our teachers are still using. Even the 5th graders love it, even though it kind of might seem simplistic or elementary or primary. You're building a very long multisyllabic word, and they're actually really excited about it.
And so when they introduce themselves, they have to say, like, hi, I'm Angie Tomato, and
Math, so we continue with everyday math, but as we looked at that program and our scores, we realized that we needed to put a little bit more emphasis on So continuing with practicing in the classroom through our everyday math program, we are also using 3 programs: Freckle Math, Extra Math, and Prodigy. Freckle Math is being used at 4th and 5th, Extra Math at 3rd, and then also Prodigy is in there. And what it does is it'll also help the students continue to advance. If they are showing a certain percentage, they'll keep bumping them up or reviewing the things that they need to review.
so it's a fun way for us to stay.
Let's see, Math 24, so excited about that, that's back. And that's a program not just for challenge our high end, but for getting the students to think differently.
We let Amy
Got to do something with 24. And so with 5th grade, we actually have double digits. And we'll have a math
And so
24
you make sure
meeting
that
and
one of the
competition.
times in the morning of morning. afternoon, so that's scheduling there.
And that goes right into not only looking at the students that need help in certain areas, but also those students that we taught that need that challenge. And so looking at the advanced learner, and this year, again, super excited, we had our spelling bee came back, 5th grade spelling bee. We sent a 5th grader and a 6th grader up to the middle school, beat all of the kids. And we sent a 5th and 6th grader to the competition board. So that was pretty exciting. Like I said, Math 24 competition, but then also a 5th grade math quiz. Something that we haven't done in a while. So all of our students.
Exactly, they love it. They fight who was walking in the back. The second grade student.
Every morning, or in case of, depending on when we have a special, could be in the afternoon, we meet as a group in the community circle. We talk, and a lot of times this is student-led. We have a question, a greeting, we each greet each other by name. The thing is that we really want everyone to know that they belong in our school, that everybody around that circle matters, and really giving that, giving everybody that understanding that we are a community, we are a family here. So we share an activity, we do our morning message, and we talk about like concept of the month. This month is kindness, of course. How are we going to do that? Or just in our classrooms? How are we going to do that out at recess? How are we going to do that out in our community?
Get to build on that together, and they really did have a lot of fun.
And they were really proud.
Carrie, you're up.
We don't really thought that was more, but
currently having partnership with the Therapy Center, Wanakee, again, students have the.
Yeah, exactly, they're great for soccer teams in school.
I don't know that I mentioned, but.
Yeah, especially in coaching.
It's a shorter week.
And then something else that we're doing, the kids don't know yet, our
And
teachers are
usually
talking about
the 6,
made
8 weeks you're
like
waiting,
double.
now
So
it's
similar to the
these
box
folks in therapy
store,
within a
it
couple of
gets
weeks,
switched.
so it's, and they keep bringing in new therapists for more and more of the.
Send it around and then.
So they're always,
Send in a picture of where they.
and keeping up with their.
Yep.
So it could come from the teachers, so for example, I had a student and their family's going through a lot of trauma, I was talking to mom, and she did get into therapy, there was almost a year wait, and I said, well, here's what we have, gave them the pamphlet, and then, like,
Switched over to something else. So this.
yeah, because I've been working with them on some things that they were going through, so this would be a nice way to help them out. Also, parents can ask, because it's, shared resource, we have a.
To lose it or forget or, yeah.
So fun, but they were labor intensive. So it's family around town. Especially there were years where they would raise their whole body.
Yeah, that's what, I think that's what Sarah said that year. It's like, oh, I got full of
No, I think a lot of that is probably,
And then you take her around touch it,
conversations, right, we connect with people all the time. And so like, they might be, as we're having that conversation, they might feel like, oh, you then told me about this, right? And so then I saw it out, but as far as like the actual paperwork and all that, they have to initiate that, so we let them know this option.
What's conference week, so.
It's out there.
So we have 2 big full school and then we have 3 self-study.
Yep.
Well, just to see, these ones are a little more like basketball because we have all
Community connections. So, community connections is a big part of this is bringing in businesses in the community, connecting our students to businesses, but also individuals and organizations within our community. So we've done several things, but some of the ones that stand out are our students' artwork is been displayed at Associated that was initiated by our teacher technician. Reach Out Lodi, there's I think like a lot of connections with Reach Out Lodi, but one was Cody Henders set up times for the 5th grade to go and actually tour the facility and see what it's all about. We had the Lodi football team come and talk to our students about, I wasn't in there, but just, academics and trying hard and doing your best.
anything?
We had a local veteran who turned 100 years old, and his daughter reached out to Eric. And so some of the students made cards for his 100th birthday, and then after especially like the students and come talk to them. So that was really cool. Resources that our students, the police department has come in. I feel like there's a lot more that we're missing on this page, but just any time that we can bring the community in and connect our students.
Oh.
There were no pictures.
Okay, they show. Okay, we're supposed to go.
I guess.
And you guys mentioned it.
Is this all one?
Where's,
But then, like, reading on it,
Yeah.
so why?
We're excited in how it's going to help our students. It's a lot of mandates, so it's mandating our staff to do a certain training, which some of our students are this certain training, they'll have to do sort of a similar training another. So that's probably some of the complaining that you hear is it's a lot of hours, a lot of time, and no phones given. So the content and like what it's supposed to be is a positive thing. I think it's just going to be a lot. It's a heavy vacation.
I know.
Are you going to be mandated by the government?
This many hours, this much, like Katie said, heavy lifting this, like we're dedicating all next year, all of our PD days to this. That big of a movement.
So like people that are getting into the education field, like so I've been in, this is my 8th year now. For me to get my special ed degree, I had to do the board test, and that's the fundamentals of reading. So that's how I got my special ed degree. Now everybody has to take the board test is basically what it is. So even if you've been teaching for the last 40 years or last 3 years or.
Got a rotate.
Sorry.
And I still have to do it, so.
We're gonna go to the other conference, or?
You guys here?
Oh no, we're going to high school.
Kindergarten all the way through second grade, what that was, so the average student at this point in here, so. Angela, do you want to?
So in this small group of these kindergartners, this is their second reading of this story, and we're really working on concept development, and we're gonna really focusing on short camps. They're very, very challenging for educators. They don't. I didn't speed, so every word in a, at this age, sometimes I'll pause and just listen to everything.
Do you want to know how to phonetically spell my
Or
name?
if they're unsure of words.
Ben can show you. I had this meeting with Katie, really, and she's like, you know, he really is doing a good job. Like he doesn't have a lot of sight words, but he will try to sound out his sight words, even though like you can't really sound out, you know. And I was like, wow, let me tell you what he did. She was like, look at my cup. I mean, it's good for people to know what we're doing, right?
This is really true.
That's what everybody said that I was excited about it. I was excited about what he misinterpreted it.
All of these words are ones that can decode, right, they'll be able to sound them out.
Soon to be core competency program, but yes, that will use products all within one class. So we're really excited about that.
We also see that doing that pointing toward the word magic, we want to make sure it's there. That's, yeah.
I was just curious.
And in this story, and in this story, the dad turns a fan out of his and so then the kids were predicting what the mom would say if she came in, but the mom didn't enter the story, so then that was a whole hilarious conversation. And then it was my mom would, well, my dad, and I'm like, okay, back to me.
Exactly. This is our extra 2 hours of parent teacher time? No. Just kidding, I already have this
Even our 5th graders are buying it.
but it's, they're getting a lot of that.
So the hard part.
next year, let's have it on a different week.
Yeah, ranges are
I
different.
did, I scheduled my extra.
They do.
Oh, good. What'd your wife think about that? Yeah.
She's not expecting much anyways.
I stuck
Their
with that.
confidence in their ability to read.
Oh my gosh.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
She was holding flowers over
And she's so cute.
Look at him, I'm like, yeah.
Celebrating her progress with finishing her IEP.
Really all put together.
Oh, good. So much of our charger out of Does Christy come with us?
She doesn't, because if you. So, I think we were inspired.
Look at my clock.
I couldn't get him out of there.
Diana White. Yeah.
Just right there. You're going. Let me just buy, can we just buy this right now? I'm like, no, the register's up there. Yeah. I'll just do it myself.
Able to,
They can look like, they can take books together, all of the students still, but again, all working on.
so these are all the different.
I just, they are excited about that.
That was created for students, so they.
I don't know that we just keep raising enough time.
These are the books.
Like, I wanna get them excited.
The basic skills.
And they're all the things that I had from the previous year were like, you know, she's like, you can time it
Sort of like you are not getting fussy with me. It's the other grandma. So they
yeah, not me. I'm the good one.
So, yeah.
Story is reading it with this teacher test.
It's still up on the board.
Thank you.
Second grade test. So that's what we're doing for the math. Same with, I already mentioned, it's their pathway, how, again, they get to keep track of.
All right, so for pillar 2, we've been focusing on cases of launch, would that mean?
But probably the biggest
His local teacher would be not going to be us, but just in case, does he, has he told you the school family? You'll have to ask him after this, right? Yeah. It's a further vegetable they have.
Okay.
So, did you guys assign them or did we assigned them? Okay.
Do you want to? Sure. This time around, we're really focusing on the families with 19 school families, main ideas there, and students to choose, and some for basic on out, on the trail, and staying in tours to protect choices they make from the state of their safe family and opportunities across the year, learn about what each of those are. Yeah.
So you guys and so each family created a poster of what kind.
It's just, it's been wonderful.
And so we have 19 of the very long posters hanging up throughout the school.
Build their projects.
So they'll go through the process of it. And it's been a really neat,
So the Osage Trailhead.
So now our district is.
Right. So you just come down to minis.
And we talk to
tell your story.
I'm gonna send mom a reminder.
So, we always do, like, I guess I know you readings, and so on the first day, just to be silly, I got a lot of tomato family. I had a sweet tomato, and yes, they had to put the word tomato as their last name, and they still will be tomato, and I bring tomato. Oh, bring tomato, and I don't see you, and they love it, and they wanna be tomato.
Well, yeah, that
And so going along with the Let It Pride initiative, this year, and what it means to be a part of the community, our school families, made the tie blankets, so they're like a piece of two sides of the tie done together, so it was a learning experience for the littles to learn to tie, and us to teach them how to tie. Burn it down. Some of them were just tying sideways and some of them down, but they really did enjoy it, and they were going into various individuals within our school, so we're really excited about that. And then for our next event, school family, the kids don't know about it yet, but our teacher made a flag devil, similar to the flat stairway story where he gets squished. So that you can see a picture of where they see it drive by.
How they picked up.
Interoperability too.
Yeah.
They can do it, yeah, however they want to email their pictures and then like just referencing it to support about, show a little bit further. Yeah.
And just check in with each other, set the date up for success, so.
Kids are
Just who they are. For sure.
how they
In fact, one of the kids reading it.
We're doing yoga with Donna, we did it again with this spring, so like we to reach out,
And now volunteer
high school buddies we have. Yeah.
Which is why I think my kids in kindergarten were not. Reading quite as well, so it's exciting. Really, I like the video. Next time we'll put them on too. We tend to talk a little faster, so sure. Maybe it's really we've all learned that.
They all have their mobile lines. For just a short period of time.
Yes, that is the one thing that I've gotten on every evaluation. No, I like it, our family talks about it. It's like,
I think it's really important to mention.
let me know when you're. Oh, that's too good. She's watching.
At least 3 months right now, and they can start their and they can continue to bring in.
Yeah, she's like, I need to speed it up.
He's so impressive.
I didn't like slow down. And I was trying to listen.
So lucky that I'm like 5th graders.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, listen to my tutorials. Yeah.
I'm 37 and I do. It'll be sunny, like that one.
They were.
How should I sell my mom's house, right? And
Do not do this to me.
So, and we can have.
Yeah, good.
You talked to me really fast. No, it's wrong. Thank you.
Switch.
Awesome.
Last one, right?
Last group.
Yeah.
This is the last one. You learn more about this? Yeah.
how are you?
Right, so one elementary school.
Okay, all right,
Let's try to make
so
room for y'all. Come on over.
my name is Dawn Collins,
Wanna
I teach
introduce?
special ed.
Chris McNair, great.
My name is Sharon. I thought we were gonna skip over it again. We're literacy specialist.
Should we have principal?
All right, so for the last couple of years, we've been looking at Lodi Elementary School, and we're kind of trying to change the focus, and we're really looking at that community class school focus of what we want to be in as a school. And so what we've been talking about is we value people, we value our students, we value the whole child, on those relationships, and nurturing that as we go along. We want our children and our students to feel safe, we want, and respected. We also want our kiddos to know that they matter, no matter where they are in any part of our school. So,
You got it.
I had it, let's have fun. All right. Sorry, you're gonna see them in action.
So we're preparing
for the future. Last year we went through a process, I know we updated earlier last year, the process with the literacy committee and how often we met and looking through all the different programs that were suggested by Ed Reports, and then also asking students who were either piloting or in the program what their thoughts were, and we landed on mine, literacy, very comprehensive. All those aspects of the science and reading, which are the ones that are listed at the bottom. Been really liking it, staff has liked it, students have liked it. One of the things that's really neat about it is that it has authentic text that the students are reading, whole group, small group, and then also a lot of comprehension, so good comprehension questions. It's also got a wide variety of vocabulary and word study, there's spelling included, so just, it's really got everything, and it's actually a lot of stuff. It's actually kind of hard to fit in, but it's all things that are helping our students grow. So we are also still able to do our small group instruction. So we still have that whole group and small group instruction to give students individually what they need. And so this is something we started last year, and teachers have continued doing it this year, just using the MyView curriculum, but also this strategy, which students really love. So it's generally used in a primary school to build words, right? But our 5th graders use it for multisyllabic, really long words, breaking them apart, spelling.
Where those blends are, you know.
It's so great to like, when we think about how much we do on the screen, but like how touching,
And hands-on.
So this really gives them that hands-on, along with it, you know, they each have a workbook, they just see it on the screen, but they're still reading out of a book as well. And a really cool thing about their workbooks is they annotate, they highlight, they underline, they circle, they're learning all those really great skills. So it's a good one for college. Yeah, exactly.
As Katie said, the authentic text is great literature that they really enjoy reading.
Yeah, not simplified or anything like that.
And really building those that foundation in their vocab too.
Yeah. So math, we are continuing with everyday math, but when we were looking at all of our assessments and everything, we realized that we need to focus a little bit more on math facts. That's across the board an area of need. And so along with our work in everyday math and work just in the classroom, we've also implemented 3 online programs that help build up those math skills. Freckle Math, which is used by 4th and 5th, Extra Math, which is 3rd grade, and Prodigy. And the nice thing I know Freckle really well is that I can tailor to the individual needs of the students, and then also they can improve, when they improve their facts, get a little bit more challenging, so they can grow with that or review. And then really excited for Math 24. It's a program that we've been using for years, but it went away in the last probably 6-7 years, and now it's back. And it's not just for the higher level student, because what it does is it helps the students or teaches or works on how they can look at numbers in their head and manipulate them to get to the number 24. And surprise how many students say,
So the first time you read it,
it's a great way to get their head.
and so
we'll
I like
start on Math 24.
I was standing over there, and like it makes me actually
Super excited.
think that
Yep. Next is great at helping us establish a lot of this. So we had our first 5th grade spelling bee. We sent a couple 5th graders to middle school, beat all the middle school students. And along with a 6th grade girl, and then they went to 4th grade, so we're very excited.
We're focusing on
Yep. And then we'll have our Math 24 competition, creative arts, and then again, super excited for our 5th grade math meeting, so we're gonna have a 5th grade like math team. So we'll just look at ways to look at all of the learners.
So does that math school?
Yeah, and we're in our very first year, so we're kind of just rolling with what's going on this year.
Nick's partnered with Walton, James, a retired advanced learner teacher, and so like she's kind of helping connect us with these opportunities too. So.
Yeah, so the next grade, right, in assessments.
And Brenda's also, Brenda's in, she's helping too. This one was, she also has special things.
Morning, meeting with that. We have one special. time dedicated each day to meeting as a classroom. And what that is,
I will make sure to get ready.
have that purpose every day. What this teaches us is that everybody matters around us.
And then going along with the Lodi Pride
Everybody
initiative,
is
we talked about
valuable
like what it means to be part of
and
the
is needed
community.
in this
So
group.
one,
We share information about our lives, about events that are happening, we do an activity together as a class. Different things about opportunities to show like how we show.
team effort, but
All those other, those important, everyday things that we need to do to create a strong community. It also gives us how we do that, not only in our classroom. For school, so really building that, circle and knowing that we all matter.
I learned some about Stanley, he gets squished by, a Baltimore, whiteboard Baltimore, and so the kids will get to color their own key, and then you know where they say their pride,
Psychotherapy, something center, one example. So this has actually been really great.
Stanley is fine with you, for the grants.
To transport their students. We just have
So we're gonna need a run the room. Which would show community, which is,
22 students for each.
I mean, we got business papers and that.
I don't know.
Isn't that so cool? So we did.
I don't know that I'm. I don't know that we think it's too bad.
I don't remember for that. Like,
Yeah, just with the anxiety, each other, greeting each other, everything that our kids are having a nice service to be able to offer. And, it also, like, and then Fridays leave their classroom, other students don't know where they're going. But Fridays, because it's really, so it's like in and out is 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah. They go either once a week or once every other week.
We're not all sitting in a circle, but we're like going over celebrating.
The more the kids have worked this, the more I've heard kids say like, oh yeah, I went to my therapist, or yeah, I'm going, you know, they don't, there's no stigma.
Yes.
So I just feel like it's gonna be.
Their mental health is something that they can put on.
Right.
But it really helps the family side of it. They just come back and just have a year wait.
Yeah, all this kind of stuff, so.
I think they're too comfortable in their school settings, so they're not going to this different needs.
And the counselor, like, you know, for our kiddos that are having that counselor here, as they transition to the middle school, that counselor will come with them too. So, you know, it is a really great thing that we offer our students and our parents, you know, that they don't have to take off the day or a half day to go and, you know, take their children.
There's so many communities that there. Yes. Partnership. I don't feel it.
This is the Lodi football team. So we try to bring the community into our schools, not just take our kids out to the community, but bring business members, community members, organizations, individuals. And so this was, Eric brought the football team in to talk about the lessons of learning.
Just working through adversity, challenges, sometimes victory, everything of like what happens when it doesn't work.
And we went to Devon Bob's, and then we had a 100-year-old veteran that his daughter reached out and said, my dad's turning 100, he's 100, I can't hold on to you. It's very hard, and a lot of our students do it. And then I wanted to talk and thank them, it was really super cool. Came in and did that,
Last thing,
and then
wellness.
what other?
Yeah, so we try to encourage different ways for our students to stay healthy. Talk about culture. So, for example, birthday celebrations, we really understand what that looks like and what that's like. And then also we
Other one thing that, not
also
YouTube,
try to take care of
Facebook.
ourselves.
Our Facebook post has all of them.
February when things are Facebook.
Yeah, no, Facebook came in, Mark Zuckerberg.
questions?
Oh, okay, great. So, thanks, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, in those circles.
Board members, we think a little. So if we all go in front of the screen.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, just, I know.
Like, all of you guys are fixing that, and I'm like.
Oh, I feel weird in that
picture,
too. So the kids don't know about this board, so we can't post it anywhere.
Okay.
Oh, he's in the other, Scott's in the other side.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for.
We've
been here before.
Appreciate it.
See you, Brad.
I've been seeing you all over the place.
Oh, yeah, Kim.
Yeah, it was, I feel like I was, you're done, okay. Here we go. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, it's perfect, okay, ready? Oh, yeah. I guess you were left on. Thank you. Thank you. Totally. What blue devil? What blue devil? I mean, what? Do you know where that blue devil is? Too bad they don't see it right now. Yes, in the elementary school. Underneath, walking on that one side. You know what?
All right, we do not have any public input tonight. And we are moving on to consent agenda. Is it gonna work?
Is it gonna work this time?
Okay. Our minutes.
Oh, it's floating.
I know, I think it's gonna work. Okay, we got our vouchers.
Okay.
So we got our payroll checks, we have our automated clearinghouse payments and our credit card payments. We have our fundraiser request, Strive with Pride. We have a fundraiser for wrestling, our primary school Jump for Heart, our track and field fundraiser, and our girls soccer fundraiser. We do not have any fundraiser reports. I feel like it's gonna stop working, I'm so scared. I know, but it's way easier to see it on here instead of me doing it. But yes, I can do that, but so far it's working, so we're just gonna keep going. No field trip request. We have our committee recommendations for approval. So our facility and finance committee, we talked about our network switches, our staff Chromebooks, our middle school cafeteria tables, our credit card fees, and curriculum committee had education for employment plan. And this is mandated in Wisconsin, requires yearly updates and review. Updates to the plan have been highlighted in sorry. I didn't see that earlier, so I'm trying to. Okay, we have our other. So we have our discipline reports from every school. And we have 2 retirements, second grade teacher and LCAT program director, and resignation, middle school assistant volleyball coach and primary school special education assistant. For co-curricular, we have assistant varsity volleyball coach, assistant girls soccer, volunteer wrestling coach, middle school PBIS advisors, 4 of them, and then middle school girls assistant basketball coach. And for crew, we have 3 lifeguards, regular staff, we have LTE speech and language therapist, long-term ag substitute teacher, and long-term English and STEAM substitute teacher. For personnel, we have 9 leave without pay requests.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented with the addition of approval of the resignation of primary school special education assistant Sarah Wilkin, approval of 4 middle school PBIS advisors, middle school girls assistant basketball coach, and fundraisers for track and field and girls soccer.
No second.
Motion by Christie, second by Adam. Any more discussion? Everyone, or all in favor? Aye.
I abstained, only because my son works, or interns with Skyward.
Okay, anyone opposed? Motion passes 6-0, one abstained. Okay. And we are moving on to our administrative reports. We are gonna start with our curriculum tonight.
Okay, the first item on mine is just a reminder to the board about the requirement from the state for all administrators and educators to participate in the Educator Effectiveness Program. I've linked in there for you the EE evaluation rubric, and I'm really excited because I participate in that as well. I go around and support the administrators. So does Adria in taking on some of the mini observations for our educators. So Adria and I will pop in and try to do various mini observations at each level. Last week or the week before, I started in the primary school, and that was great. Here's a picture of one of our kindergarten classrooms, a little tidbit. One of my nieces is at the table right there, the little blondie, so that's always a bonus when I'm in the classroom there. And it just reinforces the wonderful things that are happening in our classrooms, allows me to give some feedback to teachers, and then it also helps me because I'm done with the primary school now, and so I'll move up. I think tomorrow I start at the middle school, and then I'll go to the high school, and then the elementary school, and it also helps me just to continue to recognize where we need to have conversations for vertical alignment. So the next piece on here is we were really excited 2 weeks ago. Through our PLC conversations, one of the things we were hearing from our second grade teachers and our third grade teachers that we could better support students and families if they had the opportunity to do some classroom observations and really see what instruction looks like in second grade versus third grade. And so big thanks to Amy and Eric, who also helped coordinate this. Where over 2 half days we had our second grade teachers visit third grade classrooms and do observations, and we had our third grade teachers visit second grade classrooms and do observations. And then they had the opportunity during this last Friday PD day to come together, collaborate about that, and really think deeply about that transition from primary school and elementary school. And that's hard enough, jumping from buildings. But how can we also take a look at some of the routines and structures in place and smooth out some of those transitions for students? So that was a great opportunity. There's a little video there that's attached. It's also on our social media page of one of our teachers engaging in the phonemic awareness routine that our third grade teachers got to see for second grade. Staff Collaboration Day, you heard me reference that a little bit ago. We had a lot going on beyond just our normal building level meetings, teacher prep time, our K-12 meetings. We had things like the high school math department. They had their opportunity to meet with the ACT representative to not only talk about the ACT math test and how it has been updated and changed over the past few years, but also the ACT College Career Readiness Standards, which are the board adopted standards, and how we can continue to align our instructional targets to those standards. And so that was it was a heavy day. It was a lot of information, but it's really important. English Language Arts Department had that same type of presentation with a rep earlier this school year, and at the beginning of next school year, science will have their opportunity. The goal is to do that every about 3 years so that we are constantly being updated of how those expectations are changing, how the ACT is changing, because it does change over time, the types of passages, the types of problems, where the weight of the assessment is being placed. These are all things that we need to continue to be updated on. But you'll see a whole host of other things that were happening on that Friday. A big thank you to our administrative team because it was a heavy day and they really helped across the district supporting all of these different trainings that we have going on. And the last thing, the winter assessment window has concluded. Just like last year, the curriculum committee of the board had asked that when we take a look at iReady data that I pull in some state and national comparative information, and so I put that into a presentation and then we dive deeper into that during the curriculum committee of the board meeting. We didn't have time in our last meeting, but that is on our agenda for February.
Awesome, thank you. Okay.
Okay. So the opiate grant that we have covered a sponsored one-day tea DITAP, which stands for Drug Impairment Training for Educational Professionals. And that was at the Lodi High School in the LGI room. It's training on May 29th, 2024. It'll be from 8:30 to 4 p.m. at the high school in the large instruction room. This training will provide information on current drug trends among youth and will teach the attendee to recognize signs of individuals who are possibly abusing drugs and alcohol in the school environment. School staff, the school board, emergency services, and community members who work with youth and parents, of course, are encouraged to attend. Sign-up information will be out soon. The Summer Safety Fair Committee met for the first time on Thursday, February 1st. They'll be doing a safety fair that'll take place in conjunction with the summer school registration night. This is the second annual event, and it will focus on prevention and safety tips for families for the summer. So a lot of kids are, watching, the older ones are babysitting for younger ones, et cetera. So there was a great turnout last year. The EMS is there, the fire will be there, crew and the water safety, Narcan training, Blessed Trinity is invited to come over, and anybody else can come. This comes under the SOAR grant and the opiate response grants help pay for this. And then the AODA grant update, ADRA has signed up for the trauma-informed care training from the opiate grant money. Will enable us to have a certified trauma-informed care trainer in our area for staff and community. This gives the Lodi District another tool in our toolbox for working with mental health concerns, and that often go hand in hand with the substance abuse. And then lastly, we have an initial meeting with Blessings in a Backpack, because one of the concerns in the last data is that students reporting food insecurity in the summertime, and we know that children who struggle with any kind of trauma are at greater risk for substance use. So the Blessing in the Backpack, and Lyle Hendrickson helps coordinate that. So let's see here, anything else? Brian Bauer and Brian Bilsey have been meeting about life skills curriculum and anything that LCAT can also help them with. And that's it.
Thank you. Caleb, student report.
Great. So it turns out January was a pretty light month, even though it seems like it's still going. So just a few key points I want to highlight here. So Lodi's mock trial team is going to state at their regional tournament last weekend. Lodi's varsity took first place, and we have 2 JV teams this year. So JV Blue took 3rd place, and JV White took 6th place out of 8 teams in the region.
Wow.
So of the 12 ballots that varsity could have won, we won all 12, and several perfect scores were given. I just counted in, I think it's 23 of 64 scores were perfect scores.
Nice.
So they will participate in the state tournament on the 1st and 2nd of March, which is coming up here pretty quick. So
And where is that?
that'll be in Madison at Dade County Courthouses.
Okay.
And then the WIAA Sportsmanship Award. So the Lodi community earned the WIAA Sportsmanship Award for football. The award was presented to members of the high school student body, staff, and community members. State Representative John Plummer also presented former head coach Dave Pulls with a flag that flew over the United States Capitol the night of their state championship. So just a cool little community tidbit there.
Awesome, thank you. And student services.
Thank you. 3 things to highlight tonight. First is the Sauk Prairie Community Input Listening Session. Sauk Prairie Clinic here in Lodi had a listening session last week. They are in the first stages of developing their next community health needs assessment and updating their strategic plan. So they were conducting focus groups, and some of our school employees attended that. So a big thank you to Jean Winter, Brian Bilsey, and Grant Lumpke for attending that listening session. I wanted to give an update on the Future Blood Donors Drive that took place at the middle school. They surpassed their goal and collected 43 units of blood. This amount of donated blood helped to save 129 lives. We also had 4 first-time donors at the drive. Big thanks to Nicole Rundle, who is our representative from the American Red Cross, the student leaders that helped out from the FFA, and also Pat Miller for his assistance setting up and tearing down the event. And finally, I'd like to welcome Lindsay Deans. Lindsay Deans has joined our special education team as a speech-language therapist, and she'll be working mostly at the primary school and also servicing our students at Blessed Trinity.
She's been a great addition and has really jumped right in, and her bio is there if you would like to read it.
Thank you. All right, primary school.
Yeah, I just wanted to start by briefly just mentioning our school-wide SLO, that each of the grade levels have a grade level SLO that all really works towards the building scorecard. But it highlights just where we're currently at, and as we showed through our stop lighting too, we are making the progress we want and making some slight tweaks here and there just to try to, again, continue to support our students. We also had our 4K roundup on Thursday, January 25th. That was a huge success. This year, instead of having the students come and leave their families, they actually came and they went, we had a brief presentation in the library, and they got a tour of the school, and then we got some cute pictures of the students. But we had about 65 students there, so it was wonderful. So great night.
That's really good.
And then this Citizen Recognition Award, I had the honor of attending this for one of our first graders, Ian Nicolay. And he was involved with supporting and helping his mom during an accident and calling 911. And so this was at Columbia County, and it was just phenomenal just to be a part of that and to watch him receive this special award. So.
Sweet. Okay. All right, and elementary and OSC.
Hello, so I apologize, I did not get to join you for the board report, or the board retreat, and along with that, my being out for a little bit caused some other work by other people to cover for me, so I want to thank those from the administrative staff who stepped up. And then also, Nick didn't share this when he talked about the second and third grade visit, but I was out when the second grade teachers were coming, which meant that Nick got to help them instead of me, so just a really good team of people, and so just want to make sure I shared my appreciation for them. Also, I kind of put what I had in the board retreat into this board report, just because I thought it was really important information. I want to be able to touch on it with you. The staff at LES and OSC have really taken on to the whole Lodi Pride campaign, and the ways that we've even tried to implement that within our own building with our 5 Pride community values. And so obviously I have some kids here who we've recognized recently to highlight, but I just also wanted to highlight the efforts of our staff to apply what we're doing into their everyday practice. And then also highlight the tools for communication. We tried something new. I don't know if this got shared or not at the retreat, but we tried something new the other couple months ago where we sent all the school newsletters out in one IC blast, and we realized because we used more, we were able to see that it wasn't viewed as often, and so we were able to adjust our practice based off of this resource. And so it does give us really good information along with Peach Jar as well, and just other ways that we've tried to tell our story on social media and with our local newspapers as well. And then I wanted to touch on Pillar 4. We as a staff have worked really hard to have some celebrations, and so recently we went to the Riv in Sauk City for a bowling outing last week before the storms. And then also I just want to mention, this is something that's hard to put on paper maybe, but the district policies and approach that this district has about supporting students when they aren't at their best is something that I think should be commended. It just is something, the policies that you all put in place, the thoughtfulness of leadership within this district is something that sets us up as a leader of a building up for success and also sets our staff up for success, and their students. December and February can be a difficult time, and so there's some things that we've just done as a building that are just what we do. Fridays in December are times where we just encourage staff to have something to come to work to for a reason. And then also in February, we put a kindness calendar together of some ways to kind of think outside of ourselves during a month that can kind of be difficult to do that. And then the last thing I wanted to highlight was just the MOU signing. And so we're really excited about our partnership, OSC's partnership with Ice Age Trail Alliance, but also the districts and what that means for our students. And it was just a really neat event. Thank you to those who could make it, and those who didn't, I understand. But we're really excited about what's going to happen going forward as well.
Thank you. And last but not least, high school.
Do I get double the amount of time because middle school's not done?
No. Everybody's agreeing with me saying no.
All right, okay.
Good try, Joe.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you. In the classroom, you'll see that there are 3 classes that are featured this month. Field Ecology class, which is taught by Leo Olson, Advanced Placement or AP US History, which is taught by Kelsey Barlow, and Accounting 1 that is taught by Sue Ziegler. So lots of great things that they're doing, and you can see the course description for all those classes that is in our course catalog, so you can look at that. The next part, Kayla will cover this a little bit. So there's the WIA Sportsmanship Award that was presented and legislative recognition from Representative Plummer. There was a funny story behind Representative Plummer. So this was a surprise. Dave Poles did not know that he was going to be showing up. So Michelle let me know about 2 weeks beforehand. Mr. Plummer, or Representative Plummer, showed up about half an hour early. So it was funny watching Michelle trying to hide Representative Plummer in the concession stand or behind the concession stand because Dave kept walking out. He was supposed to be in the gym. He kept walking out. So Michelle was really nervous that it would stay a surprise. So it was a surprise, and then getting the flag that Caleb had mentioned was really, really cool. So I just want to talk about that quickly. Next thing is Junior ACT and Practice ACT. So the ACT is going to be coming up March 12th. You can just look through the calendar of events that are going to take place mostly on Mondays and during our intervention period to get our juniors ready for the ACT. I wanted to recognize Elise Kearney for much of the work that she has done to get all of this ready, working with Mr. Marshall and I. And Elise is our instructional coach. And the day of the ACT, we are going to have 9th and 10th graders come in and take the practice ACT. And the last time I looked, 54 9th and 10th graders have signed up to take that practice ACT. So they have a few more weeks to sign up. Next section is Students of the Month, so you can read through those students that earn that right to be Students of the Month. Then we have PBIS Friday Fun Day. So I mentioned Dave Poles and Leo Olson actually, and they are PBIS coaches. So they spent a lot of time getting PBIS activities ready to go, and our teachers signed up to run events on a Friday Fun Day, which was February 2nd. And the kids really enjoyed it, so it was like a 45-minute activity that they did. Moving along, Patchwork Enterprise. So I did want to mention that they just had their Valentine's sale. The sale was sweets, savory, and soups, and they do have a partnership with our Fab Lab. So they created Blue Devil mugs, which I bought one of, and they're really nice mugs. So hopefully you were able to attend that and spend a little of your money on behalf of Patchwork Enterprise. Scholarship opportunities. So all the senior families out there, senior parents, scholarship, most of the local scholarship applications are due March 1st. I want to thank Mrs. Trinan, Mr. Lemke, and Ms. Kinnanen for providing the important information that our seniors need. I always see an email, or I see a lot of emails coming from Ms. Trinan to remind our seniors that these scholarships are out there, and there's plenty of money to be earned. So just wanted to mention that to senior families. Forensics mock trial, I think Mr. Marshall is going to talk about that in his report, and I know Caleb covered that a little bit. We have the Visual Arts Classic and Capital Conference art shows coming up. You can read a little bit about that, so I appreciate Ms. Robards getting me that information. And then finally, Pillar 3 in our strategic plan is Innovative Community Connection, so we started a Spirit Squad. And I want to thank the teachers that you can see in that picture, Maya Ashbeck, Jason Murray, Leo Olson, and Kyle Mack. They were willing to meet with the students that you see in the other picture. Now, I apologize for the picture of the students. I told them to look as serious as possible on how serious you are going to take the Spirit Squad. And it comes off as them being really looking disinterested. But they're actually really excited. So we stepped in for a half of the game, and we led some cheers, and they cheered with us. And then we walked away, and then they led the cheers for the rest of the game. So we got lots of compliments. The student section sounded like they had never sounded all year as far as basketball. So we're really proud of the students and the students that were involved. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, and this is not in my report, but if you look at the last enterprise, there was an article written by Caleb about his experience as a student school board rep, so make sure you read that.
Thank you. Our district administrative report.
First and foremost, I'd just like to thank our staff who was here tonight to participate in the gallery walk, and our administrators for all their work in helping organize that. It's a busy week. Most of our buildings have parent-teacher conferences this week as well, so for them to give their time is great, especially working all day long. You know, just as all of us have, right? Worked all day long, and now here we are. Just appreciate them coming and spending time with us. Want to thank the board and the administration as well for participating in the board administration retreat 2 weeks ago. I think it's always great when we can get together, break bread together, right? Have lunch, have some activities, and just get to build, stronger relationships because we spend time in these formal settings. So I thought it was great. Again, parent-teacher conferences, just want to thank all of our staff for being there for parent-teacher conferences. It makes for long days, and really encourage our parent guardians to attend parent-teacher conferences, to take that opportunity to meet with staff, because again, we want to build partnerships with our families, and we are all in this together to help support kids. So please take that opportunity when they're out there. The district is hosting a principal advisory council meeting on a week from tonight in the LGI. We are going to present, it's on internet safety, so the administrative team will be presenting a little bit on common sense guidelines when it comes to parents and guardians and working with their kids with cell phones and some common sense rules that they can use. And this will be followed by a presentation by the Lodi Police Department, Lieutenant Nichols, discussing more internet safety and some things that can really happen, and making sure that our kids are safe and that we're working together with them. This week is also Wisconsin School Bus Driver Appreciation Week, so just really want to appreciate all of our bus drivers. We see yellow buses going at all hours of the day, right? We've heard a lot of different things about mock trial or forensics and things, right? And Saturday, the buses all go by my house, so you're here at all hours of the day. That might be forensics. That might be wrestling. That might be mock trial. That might be, and the different nights, different activities, plus the routes that they run. We're just so blessed to have a great partner like CoBus and the drivers. And the district is taking treats down tomorrow morning to the bus barn for our bus drivers. And then finally, the Wisconsin Association of School Board recognizes school districts and Board of Education members when they reach certain levels of leadership and professional development. And I have a certificate and a pin here for Angie Lathrop for reaching level 2 for her continued leadership through the WASB. So congratulations, Angie. There you are.
Thank you.
That is all.
I would also like to thank you for the gallery walk. The board, like I said, we can be a little dorky, right? And we love those gallery walks, and we love hearing what's happening, and we always get really excited for that. And I know it's a lot of time and effort on everyone's part to come in here and tell us what's going on, but we love hearing it, so thank you so much. And if I've learned anything from being on the board is that all the little and big things that you say and do can make a difference to people in different ways. I think with the election coming up, people are bringing up being on the board with me more lately. I do want to apologize to my family and friends, and if you have been one of those people that have brought up being on the board to me and I talked your ear off. I absolutely love being on this board, feel very passionate about it, and feel that I could talk about it nonstop to anyone that wants to listen. When people discuss the board with me, I appreciate people's honesty, their input on school board topics, and I appreciate them saying thank you for my time and effort and other things that I might have done that they approved of. It means more than you know, and I want to say thank you to everyone that got me to this point, that motivated me and inspired me to be here, and to the people that might have disagreed with me, but had an open mind to listen to me and to hopefully see that I share the same humbleness and open-mindedness that you do. With that being said, it makes a person realize how nice it is to be appreciated and makes you more aware of being outspoken on my own appreciation for people. Without me going on and on about my incredible appreciation and extreme gratefulness for our administration, all of our staff and teachers, our parents that are raising these amazing kids in our district, the students that motivate all of us to do better, our community for the awesome support of our schools, and personally I appreciate my family, friends, and all those smiling faces that say thank you for being on the board. And without getting too deep in life lessons, let's just start with our district. The high school has a new way that parents are able to express their gratitude for teachers. Please take advantage of it if a certain teacher or staff member made your child's or your day. But without even that system that has been set up, today's society gives us so many opportunities to send a quick note. Emails, text, phone calls, and yes, even the handwritten note. So teachers, parents, and students, be more open about your appreciation for each other. It only takes a few minutes, but it could literally change their entire day. And speaking as a parent, receiving one of those emails from a teacher telling me something positive that my child did was the best. And especially this time of year. All of us Wisconsinites could use it. The weather has been beautiful for this time of year, but we all know that it's fake spring and it can change in an instant. I also want to say good luck and congratulations to all of our Lodi extracurriculars that are coming to the end of their seasons. Thank you to all the coaches, advisors, mentors for all of your time and effort and to motivate our kids to do their best. We as a community have a lot to be proud of with all the amazing talent that our school district has, but we also recognize the time, effort, and dedication it takes to get where you are. Please know how proud we are of all of you.
Nice.
All right, and now we are going on to petition to alter school district boundaries.
Yeah, so the School District of Lodi received a petition to alter the school district boundary. It was filed by Jamie and Andy Puckett, who are here tonight, to detach a parcel that is currently in the Poinette School District to the School District of Lodi pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 117.12. The property is located at N3160 Hooker Road in Poinette, Wisconsin. It is currently adjacent to the school district, so I know I pointed to a couple of you as we walked out. There's a map there, and there's a little indentation in our district. It is Poinette's district, and that's where it is. There is no significant downside for the School District of Lodi to approve this petition to alter the school district boundaries. Again, the School District of Poinette also has to approve this request for it to take effect, so I know they'll be discussing it at their board meeting next Monday, I believe. I would recommend us approving it, but the Pucketts are here if you have any questions for them.
You guys feel like coming up?
I'm sorry?
You feel like coming up?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
The only reason is to play devil's advocate, right? So if someone was coming here and saying, we want to take some of Lodi's away, well, of course we're going to approve this because we'll take as much as we can get. But why? Why would you want us to approve it? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
So our community is Lodi. That's where we spend our time. We don't go into Poinette very much. All of our friends and family and friends of our kids go here. Our daughter Avery has special needs, and so her needs make it so that we want to make sure that we're setting both of our kids up for success. And if her needs were to change, so right now she's doing amazingly well, and she is a great little girl. But if her needs were to change and she would be forced to move out of the district back to Poinette, just worry that changing staff and her friends and everything that she's accustomed to would be more traumatic for her. So I think for me, that's some of the biggest reasons. And Lodi is a great district. Our kids are doing amazingly well here, so we just love it in Lodi.
So you're just taking precautions,
We
just
are.
in case something were to come up?
Yes.
Okay. And like Vince had showed on the map, I mean, it's like
Our-
this little nook.
Our neighbors told us in 1977 that they petitioned to have it moved from Lodi to Poinette, so we're trying to put it back.
To back where it
Oh,
was.
that's what I was just gonna ask, so prior to 70 whatever.
That's what we were
It
told.
was Lodi.
It was, correct.
Lodi
Our-
district.
Do you know why? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
The neighbor lady mentions solely for
Tax purposes?
tax, the dollar, like the taxes would be lower for them in Poinette.
So does this have to go to the city or the county? Or the town,
Not from
I
what
guess
I've
it would
read,
be?
I think it's just the two districts.
Okay, and then you'll be able to vote for school board members in Lodi at that point, and your kids go here already, so you have a say in that.
Would you feel comfortable going to the Poinette board to have the same conversation?
Absolutely.
I would recommend it.
Absolutely, yep.
So I have a question, probably more for, so if we say yes and they say no, then what happens?
They can appeal. I think they have to appeal to the state.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure how that process all plays out.
Is it like to DPI or?
I don't know, somebody, yeah, I think DPI is the one who controls it. I don't know who's the one who hears it.
I was just curious.
Well, of course we want you, so. And I appreciate what you said about the district too. I mean, that's great to hear. So I wish you all the luck. Does anyone have any more questions or discussion?
I move to approve the petition filed by Jamie and Andrew Puckett to detach a small parcel section northeast, section 35, T11 north, R8E east, tax parcel ID 1030.B, from Point at District to the School District of Lodi pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 117.12.
I'll second.
Motion by Adam, second by Terry. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks for
being
coming.
here too.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
Twice.
Hopefully you got to learn a little bit from the gallery walk.
Definitely.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's like a date night, right?
Date night at the school.
What's happening?
All right. Our CESA5 contract.
Yeah, so this is just an annual contract that comes before the board. Ms. Schrader, Dr. Carls, and I myself have reviewed the annual contract with CESA and recommend approval.
So this is the same thing that we've been doing. There's nothing
Yeah,
new
it's a little less, so it's gone down about $2,000 over the last couple of years. It just depends on what kind of services we need. A lot of it's driven by some of our special education services that we need, like deaf of hard of hearing or those type of services, vision.
So they give us a projected cost, and then we sign the contract,
Sign a
but then
contract,
at the
yeah.
end, it could be a little different depending on what's used. Is
It
that kind of-
could, no, well, typically we use it, I mean, we're signing up for these different services. It could, right, if we need to go to them for something more,
Okay.
like if we would have a student move in the district, or right, so a student moves in the district with vision needs, right,
Yeah.
we would reach out to CESA to help with that, because it wouldn't make sense for us to hire a vision teacher all on our own.
Okay.
Right? We would have to alter that contract. Right now, it's wherever it is.
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion on this?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the CESA5 contract as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion by Christie, second by Terry. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. All right, and we have our administrator, director contract extension approval.
Yeah, as in past years, the board has moved to extend administrative and director contracts with one-year extensions at the February board meeting. I always let the board know this is coming in December, and then we follow through into February, so I would recommend that we move forward with these contract extensions.
I just want to say too, thank you guys, because I don't know how public this is, but we see on here, the board sees the reviews of everybody.
Yeah, they don't see it.
Okay, so that's nice though, that we can see that just instead of saying, oh yeah, come on, they're great. So, and I know, like Vince was explaining earlier to us in closed session, that it takes time on everybody's part, so thank you for doing all that. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve administrator and director contracts with one-year extensions through June 2026 for Ms. Fossbender, Mr. Schöneman, Mr. Pertzborn, Mr. Jelinek, Ms. Schrader, Dr. Carls, Mr. Richter, Mr. Marshall, Ms. Carls, Mr. Potter, Mr. Haran, Ms. Price, Mr. Lowe, and Ms. Sachin, with compensation levels to be determined prior to issuing of formal contracts.
I'll second that.
Motion by Sarah, second by Terry. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. State convention.
Nope, no.
Another motion. Never mind.
I'll make a motion to approve the issuing of a 2-year contract, district administrator contract to Mr. Briney, commencing on July 1st, 2024, and extending through June 30th, 2026, with compensation level to be determined prior to issuing a formal contract.
I'll second that one.
Motion by Sarah, second by Terry, and Vince was like, hello, what are you doing? I was like,
Had conversations, but
just a minor detail. Anyways, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you for doing that.
See, I was just
So,
excited about this.
I know. One of the things that's really important, though, is the continuity of our administrative team. I mean, it just shows, you watch the gallery walk, and you see high achieving districts, that's what you have, is consistency. You have a phenomenal administrative team and director, so thank you.
Yes, no, thank you guys. So our state convention update, I guess I'll start. I did forget my notes, it was a little busy before I came here today.
like I've told you guys, I love that convention. There's so much that you can go to and listen to. One of the things that I actually found the most interesting was our convention on the state legislation, on everything that's being changed, obviously Act 20, which Nick informed me so much of that I was like, okay, I know all this, but I mean, there was much more to it. But it's just interesting to see how it all works. I took the pamphlet home, like I said, I did not get it out. But it also just, like a lot of them I went to, it just makes you proud of Lodi. Like we do so much that these other schools are teaching other schools to do or, doing. And obviously there's always little room for improvement here and there. But it's just, it really, I'm guessing you guys can all agree, you walk out of here just feeling really proud.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and it's just so much to take in, but it's pretty awesome, so.
Yeah, it was amazing to see in the presentation on cessation from vaping. That was us. We were there.
Yes,
They were
yeah.
featuring us. Like,
Right.
we're ahead of the game. And it was like, they asked people to raise their hand on how many people were doing something. And it was like nobody. Nobody was doing anything about vaping cessation. It was amazing. So,
Yeah, and you guys, I remember you talking about that, how it was like, we are ahead of the game
yeah.
in that,
Great.
Terry, do you have anything that you?
No, I really enjoyed, because one of the schools had a really robust school forest program, as an outdoor classroom. It was really neat to listen to them and really kind of see where we're going and what can all be done. And I mean, kids belong outside as much as we can get them outside.
Yeah.
It was just really a fun thing to, but I went to some of the same ones that you did, and and listening to other people in other places, it's like, okay.
Yeah, and the whole outside thing too, I just think about, I babysit my grandson now, and he will be antsy, whatever, and I just walk outside with him, and it's like instant, so I mean, it's a young age, and it's continues, I mean, who doesn't love being outside, so. Vince or Adria, did you wanna say anything about anything, or?
I guess I had similar thoughts. I was really pleased with some of the sessions that I went into, just because I feel like some of the things that were being presented on that we are already addressing here. Definitely room to make improvements, but it was nice to spend time in those sessions and also spend time with the board members.
Yeah, that was fun. Terry taught us a new board, or a new card game, it's fun.
That's right.
I was sad I had COVID.
I know,
and we were sad we
Sarah
weren't
was
there.
not able to join us.
Nope.
And then obviously Christine, Scott too, and Angie were not able, but we missed you guys. Vince, did you?
Yeah, again, it's always just, as everybody has said, it's just great just to reinforce some of the great things we're doing and that some of the things we're working on and other people are working on the same. And some things that we're ahead of the game, but there's areas that you always find that we can improve on as well. One of the things I went to that I really liked was a lot of things like communication can, like making videos and things of that nature, like how to promote your school district, and as we're looking at a branding plan, marketing, like how can we do that better? And I always say this, the other piece of it is the highlight is the spending time, kind of what we talked about with like the board administrative retreat, like spending time, having lunch, talking about the sessions you saw, how it related back, having dinner, and just spending time together outside of this environment, such a formal environment, is always just good for everybody to build those relationships amongst board members. You just see that grow as you attend year to year. So thank you for those who go, and feel bad for those who couldn't. And again, things come up, right? And there's work and there's other things, so it's a commitment, right? So
hopefully next year no COVID.
Right. One more thing I want to touch on. There's very practical information at these sessions. And so I'm dying to talk to Joe and Jason about this one that I went to. I already talked to you a little bit about it. It's very hard for information at this level to filter down to that level, right? And information from that level to filter back up to this level. And one of the sessions I went to had that in place, and I was like, this is amazing. So it didn't seem like it was that hard. Nothing ever does, right? But it seems like a lot of the pieces are already there, and you just have to manage it a little. And so I'm dying. I'll find time. I'll look up time.
Awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yes, and thank you again for letting us do that, the district. I appreciate it. All right, we have policy, first reading.
Yeah, so.
This kid.
A couple things for policy. At the request of the board, the policy committee reviewed Neola policy PO7250, commemoration of school facilities. The committee had a long discussion about that, but decided not to make any changes to that policy. So it's not on this list because they made no changes. The policy committee also reviewed and unanimously moved to the board with recommendation approval of 33 Neola administrative guidelines that were listed in board, that are all listed in board docs. Just a reminder, we're not taking action on those today. This is the first read. We do have one more section of administrative guidelines to get through, and then we are through the policy book.
Whoa!
So the thought would be we will probably do those at the next meeting, and then probably at the April meeting, we will approve Neola policies, probably with effective date as of July 1st, right? That way give us time to switch things in handbooks and turn over, like, instead of switching our policies in the middle of the school year, right? And we're close enough to the end of the year. So that kind of would be the plan, and then the policy committee will start working on updates to these policies, because some of them have been held back.
Time to start updating.
Yeah, right, so that's where we are.
Mo,
Vince has a question. If a board member wants to know more about what went into the decision-making process to not change the policy that the Facility and Finance Committee sent to them, would I request that that be an agenda item for a board meeting?
Well, you can talk about it now. I mean, we can talk about it right now, or we could have it as a separate agenda item at a different board meeting if the board would want to do that.
We don't need to talk about it right now.
Or can,
So I don't need to talk about it right now, but I can request that that be an agenda item.
Well, before you do that, why don't you reach out to the policy committee to talk to them?
Yeah, or
Because if
come to
that
our
solves
next,
it, then you don't even need to
come
do
to our
that.
next
But
policy meeting.
you can always put an
I
agenda.
just wanna know what my options are. Is one of my options to just request that it be
absolutely.
an agenda item?
Yeah.
Okay.
As we get to the end of the board meeting here, you can always request, board members can request things to be on the agenda.
Okay.
second reading, none.
Anybody?
Gifts and donations.
I make a motion to accept with great gratitude the donation of the $500 from the First Presbyterian Church for lunches for students in need.
Second.
Motion by Adam, second by Angie. Yep. Any more discussion? Except, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And then we have our committee reports. CESA5.
So we talked about the board that oversees when school districts want to switch properties.
Oh, well, that's fitting.
Each CESA puts a member on that board until it goes up to that level, probably through DPI, and then ends up there. And then we also did a formal review of Jeremy, the leader of CESA5. That's all we did.
Awesome. Jeremy's still doing
Oh,
good?
it was phenomenal.
I know, he's very great. Do you know too, I'm sure, Angie? All right, co-curricular items.
Yes, so I just want to first thank Mr. Marshall for putting this all together for me to read to everyone. This is a long one this time. We've got a lot going on. Wrestling. Lodi Wrestling has had a successful last few weeks of competition. On January 31st, Lodi took home their 31st straight Capital Conference Championship. That is absolutely amazing. This past weekend, they began postseason competition, heading to Dodgeville for regionals. The team took home the regional championship with Mason Lane, Isaiah Grosskopf, and Henry Coppen taking home individual regional championships. The team will head to team sectionals on Tuesday at River Valley with wrestling set to kick off at 6 p.m. Additionally, wrestlers will compete at individual sections this Saturday at Wisconsin Dells High School. And if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was Mr. Jelinek or Mr. Endress had posted on Facebook, I think it's 10 of the 14 weight classes are moving on to sectionals for individual. So.
Just another point, if you are planning on going to team sectionals, look on the website, because you have to buy tickets online.
Yes.
You can't purchase them at the door, you can purchase online.
Boys basketball, the boys basketball team has an overall record of 12-8 and a conference record of 3-3. Last Thursday night, Both the boys and girls basketball teams headed to Poinette for their Rock the Gym event, with the boys team earning a big 61-49 win. Other recent highlights include a 61-52 win over neighboring Sauk Prairie and a 80-60 win over Waterloo. The boys will host Columbus tonight before heading to Wisconsin Dells tomorrow. The girls' basketball team has an overall record of 9-14 and a conference record of 2-9. Recent highlights include a 54-37 win over Markeson and a 56-40 win over Evansville. The girls' team will wrap up their regular season tonight at Partyville. The girls earned a number 9 seed in the WIAA playoffs and will take on number 8 East Troy on Tuesday, February 20th. Boys hockey, the Norski hockey team finished the regular season with an overall record of 3-18 and a conference record of 1-6. Recent wins include a 6-4 win over Milton and a 3-1 win over Pacelli. Looks like there should be an H there.
Stevens Point, Pacelli.
Okay. They secured a number 13 seed in the WIA playoffs. They will compete in the first round of the playoffs tomorrow night, taking on Madison Memorial, my alma mater, at the Madison Ice Arena. Good luck. The Icebergs, girls hockey, the Icebergs co-op hockey team finished their regular season with an overall record of 3-19-1 and a conference record of 3-9. Recent wins include a 2-1 overtime win against Viroqua. They secured a number 6 seed and will take on number 3 Beaver Dam on Thursday, February 15th. Mock trial, as we've heard, on Saturday, February 3rd, Lodi Mock Trial competed in regionals at the Dodge County Courthouse. Lodi finished the day with the varsity team taking home the regional championship and advancing to state, and Lodi's JV Blue team taking home third. The varsity team will compete at the state tournament on March 1st and 2nd at the Dane County Courthouse. Caleb, are visitors allowed to watch?
Yes, yeah.
But we can't wear Lodi stuff, right?
No.
Okay.
Right. So there are some rules. If you go, look for the times, right? So you want to be there a little early. You have to look at what the number is and then go to the courthouse, there are different courts in the Dane County Courthouse that you go to. And you have to sit there. You cannot wear Lodi gear because the judges can't know the teams they're judging. So the judges don't know that it's a Lodi team or anybody else. And so you have to be, just like a normal court, right? You have to be quiet.
Yeah.
There's no cheering going on in a normal court room. So you have to be quiet and listen, and you will be amazed at Lodi's team and the other teams. It's just a phenomenal, the phenomenal talent of these students. It's fun to watch. So if you have the opportunity, you don't have to go down for the whole day, right? You can just go down for one trial.
And how long does that typically, like, how long is a trial? I'm just curious.
Trial is normally about 2 hours.
Okay.
And how many trials does a team have?
So normally a competition is broken down into 4 trials. So state will be 1 on Friday night and then 3 Saturday morning.
Oh, wow.
And then there'll be a championship round Sunday morning to determine who moves on to nationals.
Wow. Good luck to everyone.
Yes, good luck.
Forensics, on Monday, February 5th, the forensics team participated in the Capital Conference Tournament with 3 students earning all conference honors and 7 students earning second place. This past weekend, the team competed in the Madison West Tournament with Miranda Risher taking home first place in solo acting serious, and Andy Lemke, Blake Simpson, Bentley Smith, Caleb Rutzel, and Grant Byer taking home first place in group interpretation. Congratulations. The forensic team will host the Lodi Tournament this coming Saturday at the high school. And finally, the spring play. Students in the play have been busy rehearsing for this spring's production of Boeing. Performances will be held on Friday, March 8th and Saturday, March 9th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, March 10th at 2 p.m. And I will say before this, I was Googling. I recommend you Google Boeing. It sounds like a ton of fun.
And I would step back to the forensics. Right, we saw where all the different places they go for forensics. We have a home forensics meet this Saturday, which we only have one a year. So if you want to come watch forensics, again, you can go watch different groups throughout the day. So it's here in Lodi. So it's a great opportunity to go support our students. And again, just be impressed by, and again, not just our students, students from all over the area and their skills.
And that's all I have.
Thank you.
A lot going on.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
Okay.
So I went to the meeting, the last board meeting, and at the, it's nice that we all got a little bit of a chance to hear about what's going on at OSC at the board meeting. We get a little update from the advisors too, and you guys got a chance to have a little bit of that tonight. We also had Eric and Cliff Thompson were kind of walking us through the development of a guiding document for the charter renewal. They're in the third year of the 5-year charter, and so it's time to be working on this, and there's a lot of really good work that has been happening. So a lot of it was conversations and observations and just thinking about it. Now it's kind of coming to putting some action items and things like that. So a couple things that were talked about at the meeting are the plans to be doing parents, student surveys, and also surveying 8th and 12th grade and OSC alumni. So seeing how the experience of being in OSC has affected students throughout their academic careers.
Because their oldest class now is what grade?
So their oldest class would be, my son Patrick was in their oldest class, and he's 22 now. So he graduated in 2020. So there's OSC all throughout the grades, and it'll be really, I've always been in favor of talking to alumni from all of our various programs about when you look back, what do you think upon reflecting back? So these surveys, and they're talking, and a plan to do them every year so that it becomes part of the kind of evaluation process. There's a lot of meetings that happen with curriculum and so forth. We got a little chance to look at a lot of those things that are happening. And then we were also talking about the board itself, onboarding of new board members, recruiting new board members, possibly changes to their fundraising. So a lot of reflection on how is it going now, and then where does that take us? There have been changes somewhat in the way that the projects are done because of the Ice Age Trail partnership. So the projects this is focusing the projects really on this topic. So there's been some changes in the schedule, the yearly schedule and so forth. And so there's there's some changes, and everybody has to kind of get used to those changes a little bit. There is the Fine Arts Night is coming up in April, and then there is a change in the music. They used to do a musical, and they're not doing a musical this year. Well, they have a new music teacher, so it kind of has to evolve.
Okay.
Based on the yeah. So that was always a really big part of it. But this Fine Arts Night is also.
So they have Fine Arts Night, but they have also Project Night, right? Or no? Or is it the same?
So the Project Night, I think that's to be determined as to exactly
how they want it.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that is maybe some kind of combination.
Okay.
A little.
Okay.
Let me hop in there. So Project Night, a little bit of a change is thinking about not just asking people to come in, right, but thinking about reaching out. And so the details of kind of how that's going to work are kind of still in motion. But some of the things we have in place is you saw the 4 focus areas.
Yeah.
And so, for example, there would be a trail portion of that. And so people leading those who are interested to come on the trail and sharing different aspects that they learned about the trail. Also a piece of downtown and the impact of the trail on our community, and all the partnerships that have to happen for a trail. And then also some of the learning that we're doing just in general about restoration and glacial features. And some of that could be at OSC, and then also the possibility of some type of tour experience as well, to combine all 3.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Thank you. Thanks. I couldn't remember what was going on. That's it.
Okay. Board committee report, personnel.
Oh, that's me.
That's me. We've done that before, and I always look somewhere else, and then I forget that.
Yeah, so the personnel, oops, hold on, I got
We just like to get yours.
The personnel committee, let's see. So at the personnel committee, we a lot of what we did is we got updates from other committees that I am sitting on. There's a discussion, there's a support staff compensation committee, and it is bringing together staff members from the various support staff, you know, educational assistants, building, the variety of support staff, meeting and talking about the compensation model for support staff, because it has a number of like different levels, and it's just a compensation model that can be a little difficult to understand at times. So the committee was looking at like understanding, making sure everybody understood that, and then we're going to be discussing about should it be changed, or are there recommendations to change it, or what do the support staff, you know, a lot of it is basically like kind of exploring thoughts on not only compensation but kind of in general handbook issues. So there's been a lot of discussion there. There's more meetings that are occurring about that. So that's good. There is a insurance committee, which I'm going to. So that is looking at there will be an insurance proposal that will be available to the committee at some point soon. So that's kind of on hold until we get that quote. But again, the committee was meeting to talk about what we like about the current insurance, what are desires going forward, and then we'll talk about the variety of moving parts that can be included in a, not just in health insurance, but like wellness in general, because there's a lot of aspects that can affect the health of the staff. And then the last one was I have been meeting with some regular staff or staff like labor groups to just talk about the communication to the board or to the committee and things that are on their mind, and forging a way forward so that those concerns can come to the appropriate committee, usually the personnel committee, and pathways to, you know, when there's concerns or questions, do they come to the committee? How are they addressed? So it's just updating the personnel committee on those three other committees. Yeah, that's a good time of the year to meet. Do a lot of meetings. You know, the weather's not good.
And no, you know, no work for you, right? Not
Yeah.
at all, right? Without that.
Not at all. And then that was pretty much it.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you. All right, curriculum. We had Michelle Howe come, our K through 12th grade science lead, come and give us an update on what each of the schools are doing. In our younger grades, the primary school, elementary, and OSC is using the mystery science curriculum, and the teachers seem to be overall happy with it. Good. She advocated for them to have more minutes in the day for science, and as she always does, but they would really love it. She says that we discussed the requirements for literacy from the state and the fact that STEM is also part of the weekly schedule at this level. So in the future, the committee would love to hear from the building principal to learn more about the schedules for science instructional minutes. And then a final request from the teachers was to continue field trips, consider field trips that support science. And then the middle school is in their first year of open SciEd curriculum, and it's been going well. We had just adopted this as a district not too long ago. It's a heavy on inquiry-based and hands-on. Then they did say that they would love to get a freezer in the future to hold ice. I thought I had a lead on one, and it's not. Oh. No, it's a refrigerator, so not gonna hold ice. Yes, so. Good thought, though. And then at the high school, the new field ecology class is continuing to grow in popularity. The physics students were able to get into the pool with the help of Diana Carls to engage in activities related to momentum. So that is going really well. And then we discussed the school forest committee, gave an update. We had a lengthy discussion about that and how kids are getting out more and more this year to learn outside, an outside classroom. So
Sorry, I've forgotten about you guys over here. I'm talking to
No,
them.
you're good, you're good.
I'm reading along as you're doing it, so.
Good. That was a really good conversation. We talked about transportation out there. We talked about what it's gonna look like as that grows in popularity with signups and reserving it and, organization to it. Yeah, so that was a great conversation. Then we had a very, very thorough presentation about our new powerlifting club. And Adam Sheldon came and presented, and it was very detailed. I was thinking of questions, and then literally he was answering them, and I was like, "This is great! I literally don't have to answer anything." And I think all of us on the committee it was safety, right? We were like, these children are gonna rip every muscle in their body.
Yeah.
But he really presented it in such a way that at the end of it, I mean, we were all so comfortable with it. So you can just, the passion exuded out of him.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he was very, very passionate about it, and
I kind of wanted to do it myself.
Well, was,
I do not.
We're in on this. What I
Yeah.
liked too is it was winter time. It was a wintertime
Yeah.
activity, and you weren't in other sports.
Yes.
So you know.
Yeah, he doesn't
gave
want
that-
to encroach on other sports. He wants it to be, a standalone thing.
For our kids.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. It is a club, so it's not WIA sponsored, but it's, there's a lot of opportunity through it, I think. So we talked about that, and then because of all that, we did not get very far into our education for employment plan update, but, right? That's what we did talk about.
We did the
We did
education
talk about
performance
that one.
plan, it was the winter benchmark assessment data we tabled, yeah.
Correct. So,
I think that powerlifting is like a state sport in other,
Yeah.
it's a school, high school sport in other states.
yeah, and he showed pictures of these, like,
Yeah, you would
itty
associate
bitty
with
tiny
bigger.
little girls, like
No.
lifting all, yeah.
That's my son. I
Yeah,
was like,
all different sizes.
You can do, you can do it, I support you.
You can coach. You volunteer.
Yeah, no, I'd be too scared. Okay, facility and finance.
The
Thank you,
committee
Christine.
met last Wednesday. There were some additional members of the board there, Heather and Angie. We started out with a presentation from Baird that was very informative regarding the budgeting process. We got an overview of the budgeting process in general and then some specifics for Lodi. It's good information for some, and it was a refresher for others, I'm sure. Point of Beginning, our engineering company that's helping us with our green space plan, came back and gave us information regarding the Highway 60 field. We got the results of the soil borings. The summary there was that basically for what the school district is potentially looking to do with the field, they believe that the field's in good shape for that. If we were gonna put a building up there or something, they would have more concern because of what they found with the borings. But for green space purposes, they think the field, the Highway 60 field is in good shape for us to be able to do something there depending upon where our plans take us. There are some additional testings that we can do called settling plates if we decide we want to do that. We saw a couple of plans. One plan was kind of leveraging the green space the way it's currently set up, where the diamond's kind of orientated the way they are. Another plan was basically new and turning things and adjusting things. And what we learned about were basically two baseball/softball fields. We got an idea as to what the estimate would be with the plans. And what we requested was to have Point of Beginning give us layout for more of a multi-purpose complex. So not just baseball, softball, but potentially baseball, softball, football, soccer. So you'll bring that back to us at some point, and we'll keep moving on. We got information about the pool assessment, learned about some of the things, some of the maintenance that needs to be done, and essentially we have some professionals that are gonna come in and give us some more information and get some ideas as to what those costs would be. We talked about the IT requests already. That's the approval for the network switches replacement, and then the staff Chromebooks are gonna be purchased, and thanks to Tyler, this stuff's gonna come in under budget. Middle school cafeteria tables need to be replaced. They've reached the end of their life, so we're gonna replace the middle school cafeteria tables. We talked about credit card fees and learned about the cost to the district transaction fees and credit card fees, and made a few changes with regards to credit card fees. We're gonna have a discussion about school fees, but as we were discussing it, we realized we needed some more time to go over these things, so that was tabled. And then we talked about the Lodi Elementary School / OSC roofing project, a couple of different companies to give us different options, and where we go with the roof is really gonna be dependent upon what the board sees for long-term plans for the building. If we believe that that building is gonna be used for a shorter period of time, that may alter what we wanna do with the roof, and if we think we're gonna use that building for the next 50-plus years, that may prompt doing a different roof. So we have a couple of companies that are gonna help us to determine what the most appropriate roof to put on there as a part of our referendum and capital facility improvements. Gonna be, that was it.
Our committees have been busy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, policy committee, thanks. Oh, thanks, Scott.
Yes. So, actually, Vince basically said with the policy committee is we have, we don't have 33 first readings, and it was basically now we're into looking at the procedures that are hooked up to the policy, so that's our new look. And what did you, we have like 33 more? Anyway, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're working away at it.
See the end.
Pardon me?
You can see the end, right?
We can see the end there in the second reading, so that's where we are at. And then Scott had a question about one that we'll take on at another time.
Okay. Thank you, guys. That's lots of info. All right, so our future meetings, our next regular school board meeting will be Monday, March 11th, 5:30 close, 6:30 open. Our curriculum committee is Wednesday, February 21st at 4:30. Our policy committee meeting was changed to Tuesday, February 20th, so it's not on that Wednesday following our curriculum meeting. So it's Tuesday, February 20th at 5:30.
Oh, 5:30?
Yep. And our facility and finance is going to be Wednesday, March 6th at 6 o'clock. And our personnel committee meeting will be Wednesday, March 6th at 4:30. And I believe we do not need to go back into closed session, correct? And, did you want a future agenda item, Scott? Do you want to put that as an agenda item, or?
I don't need to do that tonight. I have time to do that if I want to do it.
Okay. All right. Would anybody like to make
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, motion by Sarah, second by Terry. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 7-0 passed. Oh, I have to do my little.
Thank you, Terry.
We are adjourned.
Thank